P52 is no longer the meta since no QT drive. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Do you agree or disagree that snub ships should have a size 0 drive that they can like spline jump with, but not between moons and planets? Seem like a good idea or bad idea? Like they could essentially quantum boost. I kind of like that idea, but some people are not for that. And I could definitely see the issues with that kind of gameplay as well. Bring a QT racer so you can compare. Let's start with the non-QT ones, because I'm hearing that that's where most of the issues are. Here's the deal, is why I'm wondering is this actually a big deal or not? Is because in like Daymar Atmosphere, is it only a big deal in space tracks? Because in Daymar Atmosphere, you're going like master mode speed anyways, right? So, oh, a little bit of lag. All right, let's go full power to boost. And let's see if we can get a decent time here. My record on this track, I think, is 52.2. I'd have to look it up. Oh, not that we're... Yeah, already feeling slower for sure. I mean, it just feels different, you know? Like, ooh, that was close. It feels a lot more drifty, to be honest. Like, that's the main takeaway so far, is it definitely feels more drifty. But here's the deal. I wonder if that's just the copy-paste over to master modes and it's not quite tuned out yet. Because I almost don't feel like it should feel this way. You know? The Fury specifically feels a little too drifty. Like, that's crazy how long of a turnaround that is right there. So I do understand those concerns a little bit, but this feels more like a tuning issue. Surfaces are in, we just don't have control surfaces. Yeah, that could be the case. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter, like, the technology that's in. Like, surfaces, control surfaces, whatever. Like, the point is, it does feel a bit goofy. I think, right? Like, you'd have to race incredibly slow on this track in order to be effective with this ship, and that used to not be the case. Am I in G-Safe? I don't think G-Safe is the issue, but I will say off the bat, it does feel some of the racing concerns are valid, but let's test out some other ships. Yeah? Not just the Fury. I will admit it feels better with G-Safe off, but still not as good as I... No, it feels a lot better with G-Safe off, actually. Are racers just racing with G-Safe on and they don't realize? It still could use a little bit of tuning, I feel like, but it's not... With G-Safe off, it's not too far off from what the current flight model is, aside from the fact that you're a lot more boost oriented. So like you have to manage your boost a lot better, which I gotta be honest, that might add some skill to it. I mean, managing boost was already a skill. I mean, that felt like a pretty slow lap. See, I think that this is where racers are getting frustrated because, like, you need boost to, like, make these complicated turns, but also to go fast in a straight line. So I think that people are just, like, wanting to be able to go full speed in a straight line like this. I can't see people ever wanting to choose any of the ships that were meant for racing that are snub fighters now. I could be wrong. That's not the issue that I have. It's not necessarily the turn rate, Dark Law. That's not the issue. The issue is the speed. It feels like the SCM of racers should be like 400. Just remove their weapons. Do I have to turn G-Safe off every time I die? Okay. That's a little bit of a step backwards, but all right. Now, all right, let's go test like a quantum, like a QED, not a QED. Let's go test like a M50 or something, or Razor. Constructive criticism is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, sure. 100%. I just don't think that, like, I feel like a lot of people's opinions of master modes has been like, I don't like this one thing, or I don't like this thing, so let's just get rid of the whole thing. And I'm just trying to, I guess, say, let's fix the things that people don't like about it. You know? Yo, Max, what's up, dude? How you doing? Has the Avenger Titan changed much? Yeah, the Avenger is actually, I think, the fastest starting ship in the game now. It's crazy fast, faster than a Mantis. It will definitely be the ship that I recommend in my new player guide. 100%. I'm working on it, Darklaw. Whoa! Okay. Yeah, this one's very banky. Oh my god. All right, let's try that again. So if you go at a 90 degrees, it's... Oh, shoot. Yeah, it's like you can only... Like, move, you can only turn if you're at a 90 degree. I have a feeling I am not going to like what's about to happen. Nope. Yeah, dude, I can definitely see why racers feel like they're having issues with this. Star Citizen's not a race game, so I don't care. I mean, it's also not a pirate game, right? But we care about that gameplay loop. The same way that we're going to care about every gameplay loop, and I'm going to give feedback so that we can make a better game for everyone. Because the more people who enjoy Star Citizen, Tony, the more people are trading and, you know, get to be a part of your gameplay loop as well. You feel me? Racing is flying and flying affects everyone? No. Flying around the PU, like, you know what we should test is I should grab the Gladius and see how the Gladius feels. I think that it's different, right? Racing is a different experience than just flying. Same as like low flying. I don't think that they are one for one. Racing down to being good affects flying in general. Well, it seems like a lot of the issues that I'm running into so far are ship. They're ship specific. It's not that racing sucks. I feel like the racing ships suck in master mode so far. Does that make sense? I feel like it's not racing that sucks. I feel like the racing ships suck. The same way the Prospector sucked, but the devs are looking into it. You know? What's the chance of them going back before they had master modes? I think 0. I mean, the Gladius feels a million times better to do this race in. A million times better. You know what I mean? Because what's the difference between the Gladius and the racing ships? It's actually been balanced for master modes. You know? But this is a fun lap. I mean, it's not perfect, but I mean, I'm having fun here for sure. Now, I wonder if like the move would be to go in and out of master modes mid-lap. Just more speed? Okay, well, that's perfect because we want more speed, right? Because on those straightaways, we want to be able to have that speed available to us. Like, it's more fun to race with the Gladius than it is the racing ships. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the issue. It's not that racing sucks in master modes. It's that the racing ships are less fun to fly in the racing mode than the Gladius. And well, G-Safe is on, but I'm holding down the boost like the entire time, guys. It's not a big deal. I guarantee you I'm not going to black out. Like, that was a fun lap. That was a fun lap. Why is the Gladius overtuned? It's literally the ship that's supposed to be, like, the most tuned ship in the game. Try the Reclaimer? Okay. I'm about to get a world record in the Reclaimer on Yadar Valley. Mark my words. What mode were you flying the Gladius in? I flew them in both modes. Both modes. They fly exactly the same. It's just a speed thing. So I feel like the move is make the racing ships fun to fly like the Gladius is. Also, I don't know why we're on this track, but this is fine. Also, guys, check out the P-52. Oh my God. See, this is why people are not liking master modes. Look at this. This is terrible. By the way, I don't blame CIG for not getting around to balancing all these ships. Like, they were clearly put under the gun to get this mode in before 323, and they had to adjust 150 ships, right? So not all of them are going to feel perfect at the beginning of the update. But, like, this is ridiculous. What's wrong with it? It's way too slow. What do you mean? It's flying slower than the Gladius. It's handling like a Argo MPUV from 322. There is obviously a very big difference then in my mind how it flies in atmosphere versus space. And that might be something I need to test out as well. The other thing is, guys, is I've said it once and I'll say it again, is they may have just not got around to balancing all these ships yet. I think it's way too early to be judging ships' performance. So I agree and disagree. It's not too early because this is about to be in live, right? That's why it's not too early. But that being said, it also is too early because it's not ready yet. You know what I mean? Man, it just really feels like these ships are not going to be good for racing anymore. Which, like, maybe they're not supposed to be, but the Fury LX? Come on. Oh, man, yeah. It's like the snubs in general just are going to blow for racing now. And maybe that's what they want. But it's like the fact that you have to, like, stick to such slow speeds, your maneuverability feels very limited. Snubs are combat craft, except some of the snubs are racers, right? So there is overlap there, Tumblr. A racing modes would not be in master modes. It would be an operator mode, like missile mode, with a specific data. It would not change the flight model in any way, but we haven't started on it. Yeah, I don't even know if they need a racing mode. Like, I don't know if a racing mode is what's needed here. It feels like some of the ships just need, like, a tune. Yeah, glad to be here. All right, G-Safe off, boost, and then let's do, we're going to start the lap with G-Safe off. Or, sorry, in SCM, and then we'll move to nav mode. G-Safe is going to be off the whole time. Yeah, I would just say that, like, the Gladius feels, like, more fun to fly overall. You know? Like, the ships just need to feel fun to fly is the main issue. And some of them feel really fun to fly, I feel like. Now, we're going to go ahead and switch into SCM mode. Or nav mode, rather, out of SCM mode. And let's just take it from the top and see how that feels. See, CIG could easily tune them to Gladius specs and faster. But CIG would have to remove the weapons and shield, or light fighting is done for. Yeah, and I'm pro removing weapons off of racing ships. Some people are not. That's totally fine. It's totally fine. Which is why maybe a racing mode is needed, where you cannot use your weapons and stuff. Can we talk about how probably one of the best racing games of all time is Need for Speed Underground 2? Or what was it? Most Wanted? What was like the really good one? Not this game. I gotta be honest, so far it sort of feels like racing in the Gladius feels good. And I think that that's probably where the majority of the frustration comes from. It also sounds good, let's be honest. Yeah, I mean, I am a noob at this track for sure. Okay, holding my... There's definitely a more efficient way to do these lines, but I just don't know them yet. Like, I think that second turn there at the beginning, the one that I had to like boost really far upward for, I think that the move is just to go slower. Like this too. I don't know. I definitely think that this needs CIG's attention, but I understand if they can't address it before 323. I would agree that balancing racing is secondary to regular flight and combat. But I don't think that it should just be thrown out the window. The same way other things that are secondary to those two things shouldn't be, right? Like mining, trading, salvage. I mean, medical gameplay. I mean, everything's got a place in the universe and everything needs balance for it to work, right? Is this the hardest racing track? I wouldn't say this is the hardest racing track. It's one that I just don't know, to be honest. I don't know if I agree with you though, Jarklaw. It doesn't feel like some of this is cheese. It feels like some of it is just a balance issue. So yeah, I just don't know if we agree, and that's fine. I think that you're just more on one side of the argument than the other. Some of these actually feel like they're misbalanced. It doesn't feel like it's like a issue of being good or not. Some of them genuinely feel misbalanced. The same way I wouldn't call someone like bad for wanting the Prospector to be more balanced than it was, right? Because to be honest with you, I think you're going faster in nav mode. Well, and see, that's the thing though, Red, is that it feels a little too slow in SCM mode and a little too fast in nav mode. And maybe it's that I just need to be going a little bit slower in nav mode, but I'm just saying, I'm not saying master mode's bad now. I hate master modes. I'm just saying it does feel like the racing portion of it does need some overlook.